Breaking news tonight out of Sandy Shores, where a high-speed chase and shootout have left 3 suspects in custody after a dramatic confrontation with law enforcement. The Blaine County Sheriff's Office has released a statement declaring the case closed. According to officials, the incident began around 6 o'clock p.m. with Colonel Aaron Smith of the BCSO responded to a shots-fired call at the scrapyard on Cat Claw Avenue. Upon arrival, he located a gray smart car with 2 occupants near the scene. When approached, the individuals allegedly refused orders to exit the vehicle and fled the scene, sparking a pursuit.
This is Weazel News reporter Frank Nacho bringing you a statement from Deputy Sheriff Johnson from the Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Frank. As y'all know, my name is Deputy Sheriff Johnson. I am the Deputy Sheriff for the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, and I am one of 2 public information officers that work for the department. So I'm here to talk about an officer-involved shooting that happened on March 20th, 2025. So on March 20th, 2025, at approximately 18:07 hours, Colonel Erwin Smith of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office was on patrol in Sandy Shores when a dispatch call came over the radio in reference to a shots-fired call at the scrapyard located off of Cat Claw Avenue. Upon arrival on scene, Colonel Smith performed a sweep of the area and located a gray in color smart car occupied 2 times in the vicinity of the location of the shots fired. At this point, Colonel Smith made contact with the suspects and attempted to ask them to step out of the vehicle and answer a couple of questions. The 2 suspects refused lawful orders and proceeded to take off from Colonel Erwin Smith, and in response, Colonel Smith got back into his vehicle and initiated a vehicle pursuit. During the pursuit, Colonel Smith attempted to radio for LSPD units to assist, but at the time were busy with other calls. While pursuing the suspects, Deputy Sheriff Donquavius Johnson joined the pursuit, and upon joining the pursuit, Deputy Sheriff Johnson noticed a red and colored Dodge Charger approaching Colonel Smith's patrol vehicle at a high rate of speed. The initial suspect stopped at the corner of Panorama Drive and East Joshua Road, and the 2 suspects hopped out of the smart car and hopped into the red Dodge. The now 3 suspects led officers on a brief chase until they stopped their vehicle and hopped out and opened fire on Colonel Smith and Deputy Sheriff Johnson. Both deputies returned fire and used their vehicles to maneuver and gain fire superiority on the suspects, neutralizing all 3 suspects. EMS was called and life-saving measures were initiated. Units from the LSPD responded to the officer's call and provided assistance, while EMS also arrived on scene and provided medical attention to the suspects. Once all 3 suspects received medical attention, they were Mirandized and transported to BCSO to be searched and processed. While Colonel Smith processed 2 of the suspects, Deputy Sheriff Johnson processed Mr. Braylon James, who is booked on charges of attempted murder of an LEO. A search of Mr. James revealed a Glock 19 CRP handgun. Other suspects involved were identified as Trey McGee and Dean Mays. Both suspects were in possession of Glock handguns with drop-in auto-sears, also known as switches. All suspects pled guilty and were sentenced to 55 months in state penitentiary and fined $55,000. This case has been closed, and I will now be accepting any questions from the press.
Can you confirm whether the suspects fired first or did deputies initiate the gunfire?
Yes, sir. So upon exiting our vehicles and trying to move in to issue commands, the suspects who had hopped out of their vehicle opened fire on both deputies.
Okay, since this case is considered closed, are you willing to release the body cam footage to the public for full transparency?
Yes, sir. I am committed to all the transparency with the public, and whenever we have cases like this that are closed, I am more than willing to release body cam to the public.
Given the use of modified firearms in this incident, what steps are being taken to address the presence of illegal weapon modifications in Blaine County?
So first and foremost, making sure people have the proper paperwork, the right FFLs, and the right SOTs, be able to carry fully automatic firearms. And secondly, increasing traffic enforcement, because as you know, traffic stops reveal 95% of all illegal items, whether it's drugs, guns, kidnapped people in the trunk, you name it. So the increase in traffic enforcement definitely will lead to an increase of caught illegal firearms on the street, and it's a great measure to help keep the streets safe and get those guns off the streets.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Johnson. This is reporter Frank Nacho reporting from the Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Questions remain. Did the suspects fire first? Will body cam footage be released? And what is being done about the presence of illegal firearm modifications in Blaine County? As the community demands answers, we'll continue following this story. For Weazel News, I'm Dream Winter. Stay with us for updates.